Hi, I'm sick. I wanted to come back from my break with a good video, and now I'm sick. So sometimes you just gotta take the... Today's word of the day is microcosm, when something small is representative of something larger. Our other word of the day is fucking shitty videos. 2015 YouTube is back, and in a big way, folks. I mean, Leafy got banned quite a while ago, little fucking Nazi. And yet there still remains an entire genre of boring, hypocritical, bigoted gamers out there that feel the need to just throw their opinions out there. Hey, fucking newsflash, asshole. Not that many people give a shit. If you hate women, you don't have to say it out loud. Like, you're allowed to be quiet. If you're not familiar, all these fucking losers do is pull up random video game footage that they recorded earlier that day and talk about something over it. It's not a new format by any means. It's been really lame for the better part of a decade. But because it allows so many deeply insecure young men to voice their opinions about feminism being bad or whatever while hiding behind footage of Doom Eternal, it remains a very popular medium. The biggest problem with some of these little guys is that they all appeal to a very specific demographic. You know the one. All you need to do is keyword search a woman through any of these weirdos videos and it kind of tells you all you need to know. Female prison guard arrested for, you guessed it, white knight defends e-girls and calls them queens. Men will pay women for anything. This is just sad now. Yeah, that's a new thing actually. That's never happened before. It's just really exhausting to see these same kinds of videos being made over and over again. And then when you actually watch these videos, it's the same talking points over and over again. It's lazy content, let's not beat around the bush here. And I don't even necessarily have a problem with lazy content as a rule, but do you really have to exclusively talk about e-girls and OnlyFans girls and trans people and fat people? Is that like really? Do we really need to hear more weirdos voicing their uneducated opinions on these topics? I don't think so. Do we really need another 15 minutes of girls getting free money part 3? What these boys really need, in my opinion, is someone to come along and give them a good old slap on the wrist. Someone's gotta log on the internet and just say, no, bad! Unfortunately for sensitive society and DIFO, they're gonna have to be my little microcosms today. Because trust and believe, when I say these guys are all the same, I mean they really, really are.
I feel bad selling some dude a car he doesn't need, selling a billionaire a rocket he doesn't need. Who's really harmed in that? You know, not my bank account, that's for sure. Just open up another register.
It's really difficult to find content these guys put out that doesn't just automatically pull from the floating cloud of right-wing talking points that consistently loom over YouTube. In other words, not only are these guys really lazy, but they're also really unoriginal. So if you've heard these talking points before, congratulations. Get ready to hear them again. The channel we're gonna start with is Sensitive Society. He made a video called People Like This Disgust Me.
Some of you have been telling me to react to this TikToker called Kaya Mints. I've been hearing nothing but bad stuff about this TikToker. I haven't seen any of these person's TikToks. Judging from some of these thumbnails, day in the life of a content creator, like when I see stuff like this, like all I think is you're cringe. And number 2, you've never had a hard day in your life.
Holy shit, dude. Imagine being this bitter about someone's content that you've never seen. When I make a video about weirdos like this and I say they're all the same and they're lazy and they're assholes and they're pieces of shit, that's because I've spent hours watching their videos. I've kind of earned the right to be like, you know what? Your videos aren't very good. He also does this really sneaky little rat-like thing where he shows 2% of like 6 different thumbnails rather than showing one full thumbnail, which would really give us a good idea as to why he might be so disgusted by this person's content. He's trying to justify his vitriol and hatred for someone making day in my life TikToks, which if we're talking about cringe content on TikTok, that's, I mean, one of the tamest things I can think of. It's actually infinitely more cringe and disgusting, really, to post a video this angry about someone you don't even know while playing the Ninja Turtles game.
Day in the life of a small Twitch streamer. Started my day pretty early at around 2 a.m. so I went to my local gas station for a couple drinks, went home and did my normal usual routine, and then I had to go to Walmart because my fridge was almost empty. Came home, edited a couple videos, had a 4-hour stream that peaked at 56 viewers and averaged 23, and then I was pretty tired.
You're acting like this is the hardest thing in the world.
Hey man, so when did he say that? When did he ever say the word hard or any synonym? You have the clips, like you could show it.
So guys, I have to get up at 2 a.m. and get some drinks and that gamer juice. So the gamer juice consumes my body, goes through my veins, goes into my penis, makes me really hard. My problem here is you're low-key acting like this is a 9 to 5 and someone forced you to wake up at 2 a.m.
Okay, so horrific attempt at a joke aside, he literally never said any of that. These fucking guys love to make up a narrative out of nothing. All he said was, I went to the store, I got food, I got drinks, and then I streamed. Like, if you hear that and then your immediate reaction is, I can't believe you're acting like this is so hard. People work real jobs out there. Yeah, I think you're the weird one. You're inventing something for you and your audience to get mad about and sending them to this really small creator for what? Because you don't like his work ethic? What are you, his fucking dad? It's a strangely common mentality among reactionary sickos that anyone posting about their life, regardless of what they even say about it, is somehow like clamoring for undeserved sympathy, which to me is just really obvious projection. Like, you can't think about sharing your life without airing some kind of grievance that you have, so everyone must be thinking the same.
Listen guys, I get the grind. I'm on that daily grind. I upload 5 to 6 videos per week. I only miss one day, and I've had to stay up in the morning till 4 a.m. back when I was a smaller YouTuber to drop a video that got 20 views.
Oh hey, there it is. He works really hard on all of his videos and none of them have as many views as this TikTok, so he's a little sad about it. Grow up.
And you didn't see me making a video saying, you guys, I get up so early because I'm on the grind and I stream for 3.5 hours.
My brother in Christ, you are not clever for disguising your projection. You did a bad job. And if you really want to insist that you're not projecting, then I'd recommend changing your content severely, because that's all it looks like. So people have pointed out that this TikTok creator is doing satire. I don't think it's very good satire because it satirizes nothing. But regardless, there's nothing to get mad at unless you're a freak.
I see some entitlement here, like, oh, guys, I only got 53 viewers in my account. Please check it out. You don't need to stream at 2 a.m. And if you're streaming at 2 a.m., that is why you have no viewers. Who the fuck is going to be watching Twitch at 2 a.m. every single day for 4 hours?
Oh, hey, here's a guy who doesn't know anything about anything. So there's this thing called time zones, right? And for example, if he's on the West Coast and streams at 2 a.m., that's 11 a.m. London time. I think there's people there. Last time I checked. Not to mention that Twitch is a concurrent viewer platform, meaning not everybody watching is watching for the entire duration. Fucking weird thing to say. But also there's more and less competitive times to stream. If you knew anything about anything, you might know this. There are plenty of streamers of all sizes who go live during the most insane hours of the night to collect people who might not be able to watch live content as regularly. YouTube reactionaries love to act like they don't understand anything about Twitch, so they can get mad at it for no reason. They just have a complete meltdown and pretend to be really stupid in order to make some hollow point about how Twitch has objectively bad content or something.
Who the fuck is going to be watching Twitch at 2 a.m. every single day for 4 hours? People have lives, people have school, people have jobs.
Oh shit, you know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. People do have lives.
So you're nothing special. Let's just take a look at this video. Day in the life of a content creator. I'm a content creator. Maybe I can relate.
In the life of a content creator. I made some G Fuel because I desperately needed to organize,
just
so
like me.
This should give me the energy that I need. I spent the first half of my day batch filming other videos, so this is basically a full-on content day. After I filmed, my room was a complete mess, so the second half of my day was spent cleaning and editing. I made some dinner and edited the footage that I had, but I was totally drained by the time I was done, so I went to sleep.
You clearly have horrible, absolutely fucking horrible time management if all day you're creating content or you don't leave your house.
Can you imagine saying this about any other job? Like, you understand he's a content creator. You understand he works from home. And you understand, because you played it in the video, that he said he was making content all day. But it is really cool that you pretended not to hear that, so you could be pretentious about what a better content creator you are.
Here's the thing, I go out and I'm a content creator, it's not that hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of difficult to find something new to react to every single day. I get it done. I don't know how. I haven't gotten a heart attack or committed suicide yet. I'll give it a few weeks.
Are you fucking serious? This guy is complaining that he might have a heart attack from trying to find content to talk about while playing video games. What a lazy piece of shit. You don't hear mechanics or coal miners complaining, do you? I'm a content creator and put way more effort into my videos than you do, and I've never once said I might have a heart attack. Do you hear how fucking stupid that is? Do you hear how unfair and manipulative that sounds? That's what all your videos are like. It's like pretty insane that in a video that's only 8 minutes long, you somehow manage to criticize someone you don't know for doing something and then doing the exact thing you're criticizing him for doing. Like, I need you to hear that that is a crazy thing to do. But it was a joke. Okay. Great joke. We're all laughing. But to be honest, I don't think he meant it as a joke. I think he took it as an opportunity to complain about his job, which I don't even care. Complain away. It's just really weird to be this hypocritical about it. If you really wanted to drive home the point that this is like a bad person or something, this would be a great opportunity to use your experience against them. Say, I'm a bigger content creator, I do things full time and it's not that hard. But you can't let go of your ego long enough to do that, and you have to put yourself on some weird pedestal. Being that obviously hypocritical is way funnier than any joke you've tried to make during the duration of this video.
This is horrible time management. For me, from start to finish, from the second I pick up my microphone to the second I'm exporting the video, that takes me between an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then I'm done. Then I have the rest of the day to play games, to go out, and stop pretending this is 9 to 5, dude.
It only takes an hour or two to make a video? Never would have guessed. Also, can we stop pretending he said it's just like a 9 to 5? Also, he's a streamer. It's not the same job. The videos that he films for TikTok, which, again, is a very different kind of video than what you're making, actually usually require some editing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
You do not have it hard. You have it easy. You're living on recruit difficulty. I'm living in recruit difficulty. Well, not really. I'm living like an easy mode.
I am losing my mind. He can't even admit that he has it just as easy, if not easier, than someone with a third of his audience on a completely different platform. He cannot help but put himself on a pedestal. It's really fucking gross.
Life of a small Twitch streamer. Start my day like usual by brushing my teeth, and then I make some G Fuel to get me going. I'm on a bit of a time crunch today, so I ordered some pizza for lunch just to maximize the time I have to edit before my friend comes over. We built my new desk that just got sent out, so once we're done with that, I walked to the gas station for some snacks before I stream, and if you're watching this, that means I'm live right now. But then I was super tired, so I went to sleep. So follow for another in the life.
No, I'm good. Bro, I do more than that and I don't get tired. He gets tired from getting out of bed. Oh my god, this is so difficult. Oh my god, I hate my life as a small content creator. You're living on easy mode. You have a nice house. You do not have it hard.
Hey, I'd love a clip of this streamer being like, I hate my life, or my life is so hard, or really anything remotely similar to that. Because these are really some hefty claims that you're making after watching a clip of him walking to the store and buying a Mountain Dew. So we've hit a point that comes in the vast majority of videos like these that I like to call the mirror dimension, where you take everything that's already happened in the first half of the video, and then you just do it again. The past does not exist in the mirror dimension. Your audience has already forgotten all of the things that you said in the first half of this video because they are either 11 years old or clinically dead.
You've never had a hard day in your life. You do not have it hard. You do not have it hard. Like, this is the hardest thing in the world. And stop pretending this is 9 to 5, dude. My problem here is you're low-key acting like this is a 9 to 5 and someone forced you to wake up at 2 a.m. This sounds like the easiest life ever. You do not know what hard life is. Guys, content creation, being a TikToker is so difficult, guys. You guys wouldn't understand. Man, these videos suck. And they're all the same.
Towards the end of the video, Sensitive Society plays a clip where the streamer does say, my job is harder than your 9 to 5, which is obvious rage bait. Content creation can be a hard job. There's a lot of examples of people that don't do it very well. But at the end of the day, you're still working for yourself and setting your own schedule, which is a big part of why it's so much easier than most other jobs. I don't think Sensitive Society has a very clear understanding on what makes making content hard, because making his content is not hard. hard. So it does make sense that he had to foam at the mouth for 8 minutes about it. Can you imagine showing this guy's routine to a 1920s coal miner? Yeah, no. I can't, because 1920s coal miners were like 11 years old and then died at the age of 32. Also, can we stop pretending like because something was a long time ago that there weren't creative, artistic people? Have you ever heard of Dadaism? Who the fuck do you think made that? Coal miners? No. It was a bunch of fucking gay people from the 20s. I love weaponizing my own ignorance and stupidity and lack of historical knowledge. Everything is hard. But this is not hard compared to truck drivers, construction workers, military, etc. Okay, so now we're in the brain of a 6-year-old, where the only hard jobs that exist are truck driver, military, fireman. The next video I want to talk about is called "She Thinks Being Skinny is a Privilege." Nope. You'll never guess what his takes are about fat people. You're never gonna guess. You never guess it.
Whoa, an earthquake! No, I'm kidding.
That's so awesome. I love first grade humor. Being 8 years old must be really fun.
Here's the thing. I do think that people choose to be fat. I do believe that there's some people that are just so fucking lazy and they just love to eat junk food and they can't go one day without having a burger shoved down their fucking throat. I do believe that. That's on you.
Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you? The escalation of that sentence was just crazy to hear. I do think it's a choice to be fat, but some lazy fucking motherfuckers just can't stop stuffing burgers in their mouth. Like, oh my god, being honest about how much you hate fat people for looking fat is way less disturbing than what you just said. Obviously, being fat is not a fucking choice. The amount of corn sweeteners in things that do not need them in the United States is unreal. Did you know there's high fructose corn syrup in things like chips, crackers, bread? And not only that, but there are a multitude of factors that dictate your weight. Genetics being the most important factor, and maybe this is controversial, but I don't think we should gatekeep people from eating what they want because their genetics dictate it might make them a little heavier than somebody else. America is also littered with food deserts where nutritious food is really difficult to consistently find, and fast food is so cheap and accessible that people experiencing poverty sometimes have no choice but to eat what they can get. And again, maybe I'm being a little firebrand controversial guy, but I also don't think we should blame people and shame them for circumstances they don't have very much control over.
Now, I always say this, if you have a medical condition or it's like beyond you because you were born a certain way, that's fine. I will never make fun of someone for something they cannot change. You could change your weight. You're just honestly lazy.
But you totally would and probably have. You just had an unhinged rant about made up fat people who can't stop eating burgers, not a real thing. But he also says it's not right to make fun of people for things they can't control. What if you're on antidepressants that make you gain weight, or anticonvulsants that can do the same thing? What if they have a hormonal disorder? Like, there are so many factors that you can't just see by looking at them, but reactionaries have to react to what's directly in front of their eyes and draw insane conclusions about groups of people from those observations, regardless of how much education they actually have about them. Like, it's so easy to just shut the fuck up.
I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. Everyone was so happy for me. I hated myself. I hated the way I looked. I hated why I exercise and things like that. And so I made the conscious decision of my parents are not going to be supportive, or maybe they won't like it. My community, the Korean community, is going to be really disappointed that there's a fat Korean.
So when you do these type of things, like losing weight, for example, why do you do it for other people?
Can sensitive society just not comprehend that some people don't want to lose weight? Like, the scenario that Katie described was very clear. She didn't like what she looked like when she lost weight. She didn't like that she did it for other people. Doing it for herself is not a solution if she still didn't like the way she looked. That's why she put the weight back on, because she was unhappy at a smaller size. It's just not hard to listen to people when they speak.
Maybe it's just me, but if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it for me. If I'm losing weight, or if I go run for 30 hours straight, I'm doing it for me so I could have all the benefits of it.
Okay, but if she's gaining weight, she's still doing doing it for herself. Why is it hard to understand?
I'm not doing it to please my family or my friends. I'm doing it for me. So I think this is why this girl is in the wrong, because she doesn't have a clear goal. She's like, oh, I did it for my family and I did it for my friends. It's like, do it for you. It's not normal to be fucking Nick Avocado size.
Hey man, so pop quiz. Who in this room is the same size as Nick Avocado? That man is 400 pounds and clearly has a fetish for recording videos of himself eating food. Using him as an example of what fat people will become if they're not careful is so disingenuous, and it's something that a lot of these annoying YouTubers like to do. Like, it's obviously a sex thing, but in a reactionary's head, if a person does one thing one time, like traits of that person that are shared by other people regardless of how unrelated they are, they have to be the same. I have no object permanence. I don't understand the concept of different things. So I see a fat person eating lots of food, and I'm like, oh, every fat person must be like that. I'm 4 years old. It's an extremely common line of logic with trans people. The entire Libs of TikTok Twitter account is dedicated to that same logic. You see one cringe non-binary teenager on TikTok, and suddenly every conservative is like, yeah, this is reality. This is a completely unavoidable thing that everyone has to deal with unless we, I don't know, kill trans people or something.
The Korean community is going to be really disappointed that they're
Korean community? I'm Latino, I'm Mexican, and I have never heard of the Mexican community. Like, what the fuck? Are people that ingrained in their community? I don't get it. What Korean community? Is it like a subreddit or something?
This segment has nothing to do with fat phobia, but holy shit, hey, what? Is the Korean community a subreddit? Hey, do me a huge favor and just like go outside. Just like for a little bit. Talk to one person. Please fucking log off.
Who cares what my community likes or doesn't like? Like, are the Mexicans going to hire the cartels to come and kill me if I lose weight?
That's like a fucking insane thing to say. Certain cultures have very specific beauty standards that Katie's family and friends may subtly or overtly try to enforce on her. Like, that is such a common and normal thing, especially for women. Like, I'm begging you to go outside and talk to one person.
In society, especially in America, we have this idea that, oh yeah, all fat people ate themselves that way, that they just sit at home and they're lazy and they don't do anything and they ate themselves that way. But they don't take into account people who have a disease. They don't take into account people who work out and their body is just built that way. So there are all of these other factors that the average person who's judging people don't take into account. And they just look at someone and they say, oh, you're fat and you're not doing anything about it.
She has a point, and I agree with her. Not everyone thinks about it like that. Not everyone sees it like that. They just see a fat person and like, oh, you probably ate 5 Burger King burgers, extra grande deluxe by yourself today, didn't you? A lot of people don't take into consideration the fact that maybe they have some kind of disability, some kind of disease.
Does sensitive society have amnesia? She's talking about you. We all saw what you said about fat people less than 5 minutes ago.
I do feel bad for the people who are just minding their own business, plus size people, if you will, and they just get shit on for no reason. I don't think that's cool. I think you're just a fucking dick and a douchebag if you're harassing innocent people.
Yeah, I actually fully agree. For example, if you made videos called "She Thinks Being Fat is Healthy and We Should Only Date Fat People," here's my response. These people think being fat is healthy. If you're not fat, you're fat phobic. Not something anyone has ever said. This is not healthy. This is what being healthy in 2022 looks like. Pathetic. Gen Z thinks being skinny is racist. Again, no one thinks that. Go outside. If you make videos like that, you're probably like a pathetic, sad little worm who has to shit on fat people in order to feel comfortable with himself. And sensitive society, with his wealth of knowledge on the subject, might say something like, well, they said going to the gym is fat phobic and that's cringe, so they deserve to be made fun of. Like, the logic here is that if fat people do something to deserve being bullied, then it's fine. When he started the video by bullying them for existing, one of the things sensitive society thinks deserves bullying the most is just saying that you're comfortable in your own body or that you don't want to lose weight regardless of your reasoning. Thank you, O gracious Lord Sensitive Society, for granting fat people the right to exist on the explicit terms that they say nothing to upset you.
I think everyone in this entire room has been criticized for their body. Like, it doesn't really matter what size you are. You could be the skinniest girl in the world and you're gonna be called like a fat bitch. Like, if you think that this is like exempt from you because we're bigger or we have different body types, like, no. We've all been shamed for our bodies.
Yeah, that is true. I like what the guy said, that no matter how skinny you are and no matter how ripped you are, there's always going to be someone who's going to be like, oh my god, you're so fucking skinny. Your six-pack is not as defined as mine.
That's not what Troy was saying at all. Bad job. You get a bad grade on that one. That's an F on in listening. He's saying that fatness, despite not being as bad as what people say, is weaponized whenever people want to insult someone, even if it doesn't make sense. What Sensitive Society heard was, everyone gets insulted for how they look, which I guess can be true in very specific individual cases, but we're talking about something a little more complex here. Fatness is societally seen as a bad thing. Having a slightly less defined six-pack has never been seen that way. That sly little misinterpretation is a great indicator as to what Sensitive Society's worldview is. We're all just the same, guys. I don't see color. I don't see weight. Let's just all get along. Like, okay, awesome. If you're 6 years old, that's a great way to see the world. Racism and fatphobia are more than just bullying someone one time. A lot of people, especially in America, are never taught beyond that superficial, surface level worldview of what prejudice actually is. Bigotry is much more insidious than that.
Since I am a dancer, it is the most annoying thing. Like, I go to auditions and I'm the only like plus size person there, and literally if you go to a concert and see an artist, you will like never see someone that looks like me dancing back up for like Chris Brown.
Quite simple. It's the same reason why quote-unquote ugly people will never be in front of the most famous magazine covers, because that will not sell and it will not go over well.
Oh shit, master marketing guy over here. Yeah, people only go to concerts if the background dancers are attractive. That's right. Ignore the fact that there's an entire cottage industry built on fat shaming and shitting on Lizzo despite her being one of the most popular artists in the world right now. Ignore that 42% of Americans are considered obese. I'm sure none of those people want to see themselves represented ever. YouTuber Sensitive Society knows what the people want to see.
The world is created with smaller bodies in mind. Like, everything we experience, when you sit in a folding chair, when you go on an airplane, when you go to the movie theater, and the unfortunate truth is our population is not that small. So,
well, everything is built for the average body. Fat people, obese, super obese people are not the majority. It doesn't make sense for the airplanes to make huge ass seats, or if a chair company starts making XXXXL size chairs, they're not going to be as successful as the normal chairs. It's business 101.
Okay, so here we have something that Sensitive Society does a lot. He takes a reasonable statement and then puts it in the dipshit machine, also known as his brain. And out comes something that nobody said. Nobody was asking for triple XL chairs or whatever you said, just a little more accommodating. He claims that chairs and airplane seats were made for the average person, which, at least for airplane seats, is immediately just completely wrong. The average airline seat has actually gotten smaller over time, so airline companies can fit more seats on the same plane and make more money, while at the same time Americans have gotten heavier at a higher rate. And again, 42% of Americans are considered obese, so when he says there's nothing to gain, he's just wrong.
Like, I got my first degree in musical theater performance. I was ready to go to Broadway. And then through college, I gained 65 pounds. And not only did I watch my professors lose interest in me, but I watched casting people lose interest in me. And that's how I ended up in education, because I want to teach that that's not okay. You can play any role, because that's what's baffling to me, is that we're in an age where in theater, we can suspend our disbelief that like animals can talk and things like that, but we can't accept that a plus size person could have somebody fall in love with them.
That is the equivalent of someone wanting to fly a plane, but they're blind.
How can someone who's fat act and sing? Like, you genuinely think it's impossible to do that? Tell me again how you think we're all the same on the inside or whatever. You might be wondering why he's suddenly so bitter when up until now he was at least a little tolerant. Well, that's because this is the end of his video and he has a narrative to project. I don't know if he realizes it or not, but starting your video with this,
I do believe that there's some people that are just so fucking lazy and they just love to eat junk food and they can't go one day without having a burger shoved down their fucking throat. I do you believe that, that's on you.
And then ending it with this.
But we can't accept that a plus size person could have somebody fall in love with them.
That is the equivalent of someone wanting to fly a plane, but they're blind.
Panders to a very specific agenda, and it's one that brainless assholes on the internet cling to. It is one of the most frustrating aspects of channels like this, knowing that them and their audience are the vocal majority on the internet by a lot, and then still manage to pretend like SJWs are the ones in real control and they're the brave vanguard fighting back by saying what everyone else is too scared to say. Brother, I've got some news for you. Steven Crowder is one of YouTube's favorite white supremacists. They have constantly bent the terms of service around keeping him on the platform, when they should have permanently banned him years ago. But because he brings in a good amount of money for him, they don't care. Steven Crowder thinks exactly the way Sensitive Society does about fat people. Don't shit on people for no reason, unless they talk about how they want to be on Broadway or want to be comfortable on an airplane, then they're a fucking moron.
Instead of dropping a few pounds, we have to make all movie theater and airplane seats bigger.
Sensitive Society and the gang of freaks that all make videos just like him constantly lure people into more and more radicalizing content. You watch a video where Sensitive Society says a fat person on Broadway is like a blind person flying a plane, then you find out, oh hey, Ben Shapiro thinks that way too. Oh hey, they've both done videos about how much they hate Lizzo. Oh, Jordan Peterson also hates black and fat people. And before you know it, that person's only consuming racist propaganda. And I know this very well because it happened to me. When I was a teenager, I fell down a right-wing pipeline that led me to unironically liking Jordan Peterson. It all has to start somewhere, and in my opinion, there's no excuse for being such an obvious part of it when it's not hard to educate yourself on what the world is actually like. So this next video we're going to talk about is a little personal, because our sensitive little boy here made a video about my good friend Nick. And there's weirdly more misinformation about Nick on the internet than there should be, and him getting Sneeko banned drew a lot of attention from freakish clout goblins on the internet, so I'm just curious what he has to say.
There's this YouTuber called Nick Is Not Green, and this is a YouTuber that I can't stand. I don't know what it is about him. His content is straight up trash. It's the most pandering, least offensive type of content. It's the safest content you can think of.
Oh yeah, you heard him, guys. Nick isn't offensive enough for him, which is why the video is about how he should be banned. He's not offended though. No. Neither is this guy, or this guy, or this guy, or this guy, or this guy. No, none of them are mad.
This content you can think of. This is like a discount Cody Co. There's something about him that's really punchable. He's everything I hate, and someone who most likely would have gotten bullied at high school for being an annoying, pretentious prick.
It's just so exhausting to hear people flounder around to try to find reasons to hate Nick and his content. Like, you could be jealous that he makes real videos. That's fine. It's okay. Just be honest about it. Like, none of these things are real. You just said a bunch of nonsense about him being vaguely bad or annoying, but you're trying to intellectualize it and justify it with facts and logic. But you can't. You're not very smart.
So this YouTuber made this amazing video. YouTube should ban Sneeko. Nah, I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Sneeko is. He's just Andrew Tate, but light. I don't like Sneeko. I think he's cringe. I think he is like a Walmart version of Andrew Tate. But that's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is the fact that this guy right here wants us and his fans, and this video got 200,000 views. This guy wants us to report both of his channels. But you know who I find more annoying than Sneeko? This guy right here. And this video got 26,000 likes and 8,000 dislikes. So, some pushback. Rightfully so. I hate this new narrative of I don't like him, I don't agree with him, so let me terminate him. Well, here's the thing, Nick. I don't like you. I don't like your content. So I think YouTube should terminate you. Guys, you know how to do it.
This would be a really good point if Nick has ever said in his entire life, I think we should ban Sneeko because I don't like him. But he didn't. And it's really weird that you're lying to make it sound like he did. What would also be really good is if you didn't make 3 separate videos advocating to ban another channel. From what I can gather, I really don't care that much. But all this person did was fake donations and scam people out of money, which might be against terms of service, but YouTube doesn't usually do very much about that. I mean, Logan Paul's still on the platform, come on.
Ding,
doink, you're my favorite coin. Want you to dink on my face, take a doink on my chest, yeah, yeah.
You could be a huge piece of shit and you're usually still allowed on YouTube. Like I said, Steven Crowder recreated the death of George Floyd in an effort to say, no, putting your knee on someone's neck doesn't kill you. This is an official call out to Steven Crowder. If you want me to put my knee on your neck for 10 minutes, I will do it just so you can make whatever point you were trying to make. But what Sneeko did was actually against TOS, which is why he got banned.
You know how stupid that sounds? I don't like you, Nick, but I'm not going to report you or tag YouTube or tell all of my fans to start reporting your videos because I don't like you. You know why? Because I could just choose not to watch you. I could just choose to block your channel and hit the 3 dots that says do not recommend Nick ever again.
Okay, so that's great. You don't like Nick's videos, but you won't report him. Unlike what Sneeko's fans did when they got him banned from TikTok and Instagram by mass reporting him for rightfully telling YouTube to enforce their own rules. What's really embarrassing for sensitive society here is that Nick clarifies that he doesn't believe in deplatforming people he disagrees with, which does fly in the face of his entire point in making this video.
A lot of times creators that I disagree with on a personal level are mostly harmless, and I don't believe that disagreeing with someone's personal values are ground for removal from YouTube or Twitch or any other social media platform.
So I wonder what he has to say about that. What's his counterpoint?
You know who else qualifies for removal of the website? You do. I don't want to get ahead of myself because of something you do at the end of the video that is against the TOS, and I also think you qualify to get your channel taken down. This guy is such a fucking snitch. This guy's a fucking hall monitor. Oh guys, no running, or I'm gonna have to write you up.
Oh, yeah, so he just ignored that. That's probably a smart move. Yeah, I guess it was too hard for him to think about it. It hurt his little brain. So then he just calls Nick a hall monitor for showing a clip of Sneeko saying he's going to sexually assault someone. Someone he just doesn't agree with. By the way, if asking someone to ban a person you don't agree with is so fucking horrible, then why are you more mad about threatening to sexually assault someone you don't agree with? That seems like a little worse. It's almost like you have no actual values and you just want to shit on Nick because you don't like him for weird reasons.
Stop sucking Susan's dick. Stop dick riding YouTube and try to be the fucking police over here.
Dick riding YouTube? That's a really weird nonsensical thing to say in this context. Like, you know, we were mad at YouTube for allowing him to continue being on the platform for so long, right? YouTube is so continuously inept that you have to actually make public outcry for them to take action when someone very obviously breaks their terms of service. That's the point of Nick's video, and that's not like a positive thing.
Before people say it, but sensitive, didn't you make a video 2 days ago wanting to get someone banned? Well, that's completely different. If you look at the video and the context and all the stuff this YouTuber has done, it calls for banning, okay? That's been one of the only times I've done something like this.
I don't have the full context for this situation, as I said before, but I think it's really interesting because if what this person did was actually ban-worthy, you probably could have just summed it up in a sentence or two, but instead, you told people to go watch the 3 or 4 videos you made about it. Really fucking scummy, but whatever.
Now, a little over a month ago, Sneeko went on his live stream to talk about one of my friends, Chad, who gave me permission to make this video, but had no part in the creation of it, and it wasn't her idea or suggestion for me to make this.
So you're just doing this out of the kindness of your heart. Like this guy right here claims to be just a good guy, right? And call out bad people when they see it. I mean, you're out here policing the internet, and my God, how dare you say that? You don't work for YouTube.
You know, people sometimes, when they're not huge pieces of shit, like to do things because they are the right thing to do. Like, I would hope that if this happened to you, where someone threatened to sexually assault a friend of yours, you would say something and not bite your tongue because you don't think the internet should be policed or whatever. Like, if there was a video on YouTube of someone being killed, it would not be against terms of service to make a video and say, hey, we should delete this channel because it's breaking TOS. Like, it's literally kindergarten logic. But if sensitive society was actually consistent, then he'd be fine with that on YouTube. He'd be fine with porn on YouTube too. You can't just ban it because you don't agree. And his counterpoint to me is probably going to be something like, well, YouTube isn't the place for sex and violent content. Okay, cool. I agree. Now ask yourself if you think YouTube is the place to violently threaten someone with rape. Go ahead and turn in your answer.
He reacted to a video she made about a TikTok dating coach, and I'm just going to play the video here so nothing can be left out of context, but I am going to issue a huge content warning for sexual assault, so if that's something that you're uncomfortable with in any way, I would leave the video now.
You know what's so funny about the internet? It hides the fact, and like this feminist garbage hides the fact that she's attracted to that guy making the videos. It is what it is. Girls, you could vouch for it. You know it's true. She would. She would. And you know it's true, what's so predictable? You could tell by the way she's talking that she hasn't been properly in a long time. It's been a while. So she's on the internet making this garbage video, promoting all this feminist garbage to your fucking lonely girls in the comment section. What you really need, Chad, is some yeah, shut up with your feminism. Yeah, come here. That's what you need. And she's gonna go, that's what you need. You need some sense. Fuck back into you. And you know what they're gonna do right after I did that? They're gonna clip that part and say I'm an incel problematic, but you know it's true. You can hear it in her voice. She hasn't been properly in too long, and now you make no sense. That's what happens, man. That's what happens, yo. Someone vouch for me. You know it's true.
Now, I don't think I have to explain why this is disgusting. Sneeko is harassing a female content creator, telling her that the reason why she's so upset is because she hasn't had sex in a while.
Let me just make this very clear. I think what Sneeko did is cringe.
Oh, shit. Okay. He does think the clip is cringe. Okay, that's good to know because he did just spend the last 5 minutes defending Sneeko's right to say it, but he does think it's cringe, so I guess that makes it all okay. What a brave fucking tape.
What he did was wrong. Absolutely. I don't fuck with it. But at the same time, Nick's Not Green kind of looks like the guy who would cry if he got teabagged in Call of Duty or Halo or call that sexual assault. Oh my god, some guy just teabagged me, guys. This is clearly sexual assault. You are so fucking soft, and I just hate all these commentary channels.
Hey, what are we talking about right now? Is this about Sneeko or is this about Nick? How are you even gonna make the equivalency that getting teabagged in Halo is the same as this?
And I just hate all these commentary channels. Anyone who's related to Nick's Not Green, I can't stand them. They're awful, they're bland, they're trash, they have no fucking personality, and they all talk the fucking same.
That is incredibly rich coming from someone who is an identical clone of everyone in his channel box.
To me, if you want to go this route, I think maybe give him a strike, right? Here's the thing, I could be wrong. I think that was on Twitch. I don't believe that what you do on Twitch or other platforms should intervene with what you do on YouTube.
Once again, sensitive society does not know anything about anything. Sneeko streamed on YouTube. If he did that on Twitch, that would result in an instant permaban because they have no tolerance for threatening other creators. But regardless, what he said should be career ending. Can you imagine, like, if fucking Brad Pitt said that about Scarlett Johansson, someone he didn't even know, on TV? His career should be over. It's his fucking fault. He shouldn't have said it. Also, the one concession that sensitive society is making is that Sneeko should get a strike on his channel. Okay, Nick mentioned in the video that you watched that he already has 2. And do you know what a 3rd strike would mean? All this to say that he actually agrees with Nick, but has to spin himself into circles and shit his pants to come to that conclusion first. Like, great, you can embarrass yourself all you want, as long as we're on the same page.
Nick is just being a fucking pussy over here. The fucking internet police and the comedy police over here. Hey guys, don't do this or I will report you to YouTube. Dude, chill out. I think you're choking on YouTube's dick.
It's bad to want to ban channels you don't like, but it's okay to defend channels you don't like if someone else you don't like wants them banned, even if it's justified. And even though you agree that they should be banned. Like, you have to put in so much work to be this pathetic.
I can't believe this is 2022. We don't like you. We don't agree with you. We're gonna fucking report you and ban you. What the fuck is this? Where the fuck are we heading?
Yeah, you know, I think this is a pretty good precedent to set. Like, don't threaten to rape other content creators. I don't think many people will have a problem following through with that. I'm sorry you think that's so unreasonable.
If you watch this video and you also believe that Sneeko should be banned from YouTube, you can go to his channel pages, click about, and then click the flag icon on the right side of the page and report the user. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
Holy shit. Fun fact, asking your fans, that's breaking the terms of service for massive flagging.
Hey, fun fact, that's a lie. Please do your research. Next time, apply yourself D-.
Where the fuck are we heading? So let's say I don't like Nick and 10 other creators say they don't like Nick. Do we all make videos on you and we campaign against you and we get you deplatformed because we don't like you? This is a dangerous game.
I need to remind everyone watching this, sensitive society agrees with Nick, but he still feels the need to defend what Sneeko said because he doesn't like Nick. So I've spent way too much fucking time on this guy, but it's because I think he's a great example of a lot of these these kinds of channels. Same boring content, nonsensical logic, obvious hypocrisy, and needless hatred for people who aren't like them. I have one more channel to talk about, Difo, who's a little more female focused. Most of his videos are about women doing something wrong. What are they not, am I right? I'm on Women Watch. I'm on patrol for a woman doing anything I think is wrong, and then I'm gonna make a 12-minute video about it while I play Call of Duty Vanguard.
Alright fellas, welcome back. We're gonna start today's video off by playing an audio clip, and I want you to tell me, without seeing any video associated with it, what do you think that this is a clip of? What do you think is going on the actual video? Take a listen. Upon first hearing of this, I thought it was surely the certified hub classic Lana Rhoades gets stretched out by her personal trainer, but come to find out, this is not from the hub at all. This is from the video game streaming website twitch.tv.
Oh boy, do I love lying. Hey, if this is what your porn sounds like, I hate to break it to you, that's not porn. That's a trail cam. Once again, these freaks have to completely lie and forget how the world works in order to make their point. Obviously, the point here being women.
This is not from the hub at all. This is from the video game streaming website twitch.tv. Yeah.
Twitch has not been exclusive to video games for the majority of its existence. A lot of people on YouTube might not know that because people like this constantly lie about it. Since before Twitch was even called Twitch, there have been art and music streams. But nowadays you have variety, cosplay, game shows. Calling it a video game streaming website is disingenuous from the jump, and everyone who's not a weirdo should know that.
Not take the risk of getting in trouble here on YouTube showing that clip, but I'll try to explain the best I can of what's happening. So I think the best way to describe it would be to imagine your favorite, let's say, Riley Reid movie, or your favorite Mia Malkova movie. Take any movie star, right? A movie star of your choosing, and then replace a certain thing with a microphone with an ear on the end of it. And that's exactly what's happening in the clip.
Let me translate this middle school logic because my audience is older than 13. He's saying she deep-throated her microphone, which, yeah, you know, maybe that is a little risque. I could see a couple of days off as a warning. Oh, you're telling me it was an ear mic that you can't physically deep-throat in the same way you could a penis? That's a little different, is it not?
People like this is pretty much just what Twitch is now, and it's not only this, but just chatting, ASMR, hot tubs and beaches. If it's not this, there's a lot of stuff that is equally as suggestive as this, and equally as pathetic to get caught watching as a man as this. I say this all the time, but if I ever catch any of you guys watching some shit like this, I'm telling your parents, your girlfriends, your wives, your kids if you have them, telling your entire families, I'm telling your employer, all right? Please do not be one of the basement dwelling losers that participates in watching these streams.
I don't know, man. I think it's actually like way more pathetic to sit around playing Call of Duty while feeling the need to say over and over again that it's really not cool to watch these streams, guys. It's really not. Do not watch them. Do not look in the chat for my name. You'll never find it there. Your insecurity is reaching critical mass and you're now projecting it onto your audience. Like, it's fine to watch these streams. Like, who cares?
Don't you guys love how people who do this kind of thing on Twitch are still being referred to as creators? Like, that just makes me laugh every single time, right? Creators. Yeah, it's so creative, guys. So creative.
That's really rich coming from someone who's just playing Call of Duty on a YouTube video. But no, you're right. Amaranth just happened to fall in front of a camera and just happened to become one of the most famous women on the internet. The outrage that women's sexuality on Twitch generates is really confusing to me. Like, it's fine to play games where women are being objectified and sexualized, but when women directly profit from it, that's when I make a 20-minute video where I play the Lego Batman game and talk about how fucked up that is.
Really a master of their craft. In fact, I wanted to see some of this creativity for myself, so for the first time of my life, I went on twitch.tv and I looked up the ASMR category, and here were the first 8 channels that popped up. There's quite a lot of creativity going on here.
Really interesting that he waited until Valentine's Day to look at the ASMR category. It's almost like there'd be more streams that day. Can you spell agenda? I hardly know. Meanwhile, if you look it up today, you're going to find significantly less views after the first few, and also not just women are streaming in the ASMR category. Cooking channels, massage channels, VTubers, gamers. There's a lot of variation there, but he happened to choose a day very specifically where there were more of those streams. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose at all.
So again, I'm not surprised that any of this has happened because it's been happening, and we knew that this was going to happen back in like early summer of 2021.
So many of these fucking weirdos treat ASMR streams and hot tub streams like the fucking apocalypse. We knew this was going to happen. We tried to warn you. Nobody cared.
What you don't understand is when you open a door like that, those doors are going to keep opening. When you allow that, you're opening the door up, right?
Can confirm the door was opened up.
What door are you talking about? Hang on. Sorry. Wait. No. No. Boobies? On my video game website? No. Yeah. Kill them. There's nothing that matters to me less than protecting whatever arbitrary sanctity you've parasocially applied to your favorite streaming website. Put 10 boobies on there, I don't give a shit! Not that it's a perfect statistic or anything, but according to Google Trends, ASMR and hot tub streams are at almost their lowest point they've ever been. And they're so integrated into the platform at this point, like who gives a shit? Twitch is more or less the fucking same. What is the slippery slope argument anyway? What do you think, there's gonna be fucking on Twitch? That would never, ever happen. Talk to one sex worker about how hard that would be. Even if it did happen, somehow. What are you gonna fucking die? Grow up. The next video we're gonna watch is Gross Feminist is Furious after a man, censored for some reason, rejects her for this.
Which ugly losers are awake and want to buy me my whole wish list? I know you're dying to send. You know we weren't gonna let this one go unchecked, guys. No, I'm actually dying for that motherfucking Modern Warfare 2 trailer to drop.
Oh yeah, man. Great fucking joke. Women? No thanks you. I'm actually here for video games. Definitely not a joke I've heard 80,000 times on Reddit. How the fuck are you going to keyword search Findom, which stands for financial domination, where men get horny to give women money, and make this lame and predictable of a joke?
All right, fellas, so on the menu today, we have two feminist stories, and you're just not going to believe your ears when I tell you this shit, really. It gets worse every time we go on the internet.
One of the most unbearable attitudes that all these little fucking gamers have is every time I log on to the internet, there's more feminists. They're bigger, they keep growing, or they say shit like, this is the year 2022. This is where we are. You literally love this shit. You've built your entire identity around talking about what things you think women have done wrong.
I just want to go over one example of many that we've seen in our lifetimes, right? Of girl streamers living on easy mode. Someone tagged me in this, and you cannot make this shit up. Female Ubu Valorant streamer says, so this just happened with 2 screenshots. This is a conversation between her and some loser. Hi, I saw your Twitter. Would you like to play a couple games? Please, I will pay. She says, how much? He says, how much do you want? And she says, $2,000, LOL, JK. Then he says, okay, send the details. And she asks if he's serious. He says, if I can play with a goddess, then yes. And then the next screenshot, boom. This fucking loser actually sent $2,000 to a girl on the internet to play like 3 games of Valorant. On behalf of men everywhere, I just want to say, guys, we failed.
Listen, not to defend women here or anything, but it is kind of just a fact that the majority of women streamers put more effort into their streams than even larger men streamers. They have to, and I'm not blaming men for that. It's not really any one person or group of people's fault. It's just kind of how misogyny hides itself in your little brain. There are plenty of streamers who I love who aren't even close to putting in the level of effort as much smaller streamers that are women. Jerma's camera is older than me. Vinny from Vinesauce doesn't even have a camera 99% of the time.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, women do their hair, their makeup, they usually have crazy lights in the background just to stay competitive with men who don't do a fraction of that. But no, you're right. it is actually easy mode being a woman, because one person paid another person $2,000 one time to play Valorant. As if there aren't multiple people in the world who would literally commit multiple homicide to play Five Nights at Freddy's with Markiplier.
We failed, right? There's so much more work to do when shit like this can actually happen out there.
What work? What are you gonna do? Kill him? Some people have a lot of fucking disposable income and have a kink for giving it away to women. You should know because you keyword searched it in the beginning of the video. It's yet again another example of just pretending we live in a completely different world than we do, where this doesn't happen regularly outside of the Twitch and gaming space.
Here's what happened. This dude took this chick on a couple of dates, this feminist that made this stupid ass TikTok that she now deleted, and they ended up fucking. But when they did, he discovered that she had hairy armpits. So take a look at the screenshot from her now deleted TikTok. It's her face looking big mad, and the text message says, "Hey, this isn't going to work. You're sexy and funny, but seeing your hairy armpits is a no-go. It's just my preference."
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say to someone. You can't just be rude and be like, yeah, that's my preference.
Then she says back to him, "So you having hairy armpits is fine, but not me, a woman who also grows hair there? It's just my preference," he simply responded, but she wasn't going to take it. So what was the big clap back, right? I'm sure you can all predict it, right? Guys, we've all heard this before when a girl gets mad at us. We have it every time. The woman then slammed him, "But you have a dick shaped like a croissant isn't my preference, but I understand it's not something you can help. So just like clockwork, fellas, you have a small dick, or you have a weird dick." We've all seen this and heard it a million times. It's probably happened to us. It's probably happened to all of our homies.
Why would you tell on yourself like that? Yeah, you know, women are always telling me that you have a limp, small, weird-shaped dick. Probably happened to you. Definitely happened to just more than just me. Definitely, no, like it happens all the time. Like you didn't have to say that.
Let's unpack this here. Let's talk about it for a second. So my first question to everyone, all the fellas out in the audience, let's say you really like a girl. You finally get around to sleeping with her and you discover she has hairy pits. Is that a deal breaker for you?
No. What? The moral of the story is not that it's wrong to not shave your armpits. The moral of the story, I think, is that it's weird and freakish to leave someone over that.
I say this all the time in videos and I'm sorry to keep repeating it, but I'm so glad I'm married, dude. I got married before all this bullshit feminism started. This third wave thing of like not shaving your legs, not shaving your armpits. So I don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, I mean, thank God he got married before feminism came out in 2013. Came out right after Thrift Shop by Macklemore. The idea that feminism only now includes not shaving body hair is just a lie. Not only that, but it wasn't even normal for women to shave until like 60 years ago. And a lot of that is just propaganda from the razor industry. Like what, are you gonna leave your wife if she doesn't douche regularly? Another made up industry based on a lie? When a man has a preference, it's sexist. When a woman has a preference, it's normal. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, see, that's what like a child would think. A child wrote that. A baby. A chick with hairy pits may be even more offensive than finding out she owns one or more chihuahuas. Am I like missing lore here? That's just like a crazy thing to say. Toxic masculinity is something that the undesirable women say to the men they do want. Forgot the source. Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure that was Aristotle that said that. I think these channels are genuinely damaging. Would I say they deserve to be taken off YouTube? No, of course not. I mean, your alternative is me making a video about you and embarrassing you. So you're free to stop uploading if you make videos like this. Just know I'm coming for you. One of my main goals with my content, at least the majority of the time, is de-radicalization. I want to show people that there's a better and more rational way to think. That you don't have to be duped into following your feelings when the facts are right in front of you. And unfortunately for a lot of the people that watch content like this, their feelings are transphobic and misogynistic. They end up blaming already marginalized people for their problems when they're probably experiencing the same things. If you were someone you know watches videos like these, don't watch videos where people actually, make them, and don't just pull up a tweet on top of footage of, I don't know, Tomba 2. There's better content by better people, and it's really accessible. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please click like if you had a good time, or subscribe for more videos just like this every week. Make sure you tune in for my next video where I turn into a skeleton. Bye. Thank you so much to my incredible supporters over on Patreon. If you'd like to join the Patreon, it's just $5 a month for video thumbnails the day before the video comes out and your name at the end of every video, just like this.